We're out here at Better Homes and Gardens, and I thought we were walking around. We just walked past some craft stores. We came around the corner and I thought, oh, they do basket weaving. That's interesting. And then I suddenly realised, Isaac, with all due respects, that these are coffins behind me.
Yes, they are.
Now, Isaac, this is your company. How have coffins changed, and how did you get into this world of coffins?
Sure. So, I mean, these coffins that we have behind here are 100% biodegradable.
Yes.
They're made in a small village in Indonesia.
Yes.
Okay. Part of that cost goes into recouping fair trade in Indonesia. So these is how the industry is changing, moving away from traditional coffin shapes to square shape, to round shape, totally removing the morbidness in the whole funeral planning process.
Why did it become so morbid? What made it morbid?
Could I say Dracula?
Yeah, Dracula. Is that what it was?
No. Look, traditional coffin shapes, people have kind of stereotyped them to be morbid. People don't want to be looking at them.
Yeah.
There has been different shapes in coffins that have been manufactured previously, tried and tested. People are just, don't want to talk about it. People don't want to be part of that grieving process that we're part of, 10, 20 years ago. So we're trying.
But you're a young guy. How did you get into this, really? I mean, it's not something you'd wake up one morning and go, hey, I want to get into the coffin business. Is it a family thing?
I guess we all strive to look for innovations in different industries.
Yeah.
So this is an industry that we had to look at.
Yeah.
And thought, hey, maybe it's worth a crack.
Maybe it's worth a crack.
Maybe it's worth a crack.
And then, so you supply coffins to Costco. We were just talking about that.
Yes.
And we were just talking about colours before. And I said, if when I die, God forbid, I want to be buried in a black coffin. And you were just saying to me, but Ben, you're ahead of your time by 30 or 40 years. You haven't died yet. When you get there, black will probably be in.
Correct.
So the market and the research, you do a lot of this research for the market.
We try to.
Yeah.
We try to do a lot of research. White has probably been a colour that is becoming more and more popular.
Yeah.
And it has to do with customizability.
Yeah.
We're seeing families using white coffins and signing their names on them, writing their messages with them. So the messages are being cremated, being buried with Nan, buried with the loved one, and people are printing photos on adhesive paper and sticking them on a white coffin. So white becomes a blank canvas, and families are choosing that.
Can I ask you though, like religion would have dictated a lot of the morbidness because of the ritual of death. Are you finding that people are less religious now and more spiritual, and this is this onsurgence of, say, a basket for a coffin, writing on coffins? Like, you'd never hear of that years ago.
Sure. Look, I think religion and religious, whether it's spiritual or faith, is always going to be there. The products that people demand are always going to be there. This is just an alternative. Demographic shifts, and we continually see it shifting. Whether it be a religious Last Supper or it be a 100% biodegradable hand-woven basket, it's always out there.
Yeah, it's interesting. The other question I was going to ask you, like, you're a young guy. How old are you?
32.
Right, I'm 43, so I'm a bit older. I'll be in heaven before you, maybe. But what I was going to say is, for yourself, are you scared of dying? And when you do die, what do you want to be buried in?
Oh, look, I wouldn't mind one of these ones behind us here.
Oh, really?
Yes, I mean, you look at the papers now. 9 out of 10, I can guarantee you there will be a piece on there on environmental issues in the world. So,
do you want to be buried or cremated?
Buried.
Buried, yeah.
So it can biodegrade, flourish grass, flourish trees, and do something for our next generation.
Now, for me, this is me going to a funeral and looking at someone like my grandmother in a basket. I'm standing here. You can actually see inside there. Or is it lined?
It is lined with bamboo fibres, so what you see is actually the lining.
All right, so I'm actually not seeing Grandma. Isaac, thank you very much for your time. This is a very interesting industry, and I think it's wonderful that we're seeing this biodegradable stuff. And on the other side of it, it's also giving people a job, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and also raising awareness on what's available in the marketplace at the moment.
Fantastic. There you go. Talking funerals and coffins. Did you ever think at Better Homes and Gardens you'd be seeing coffins made out of basket weaving? There you go.